rainbows. I hope that you are cozy and comfortable and ready for quiet time. I'm trusting that you have your paper and your crayons and whatever else you need to be comfortable at this time. I'm going to read 2 chapters from Zoe and Sassafras, Caterflies and Ice, chapter 8 and chapter 9. There aren't many pictures, but I will show you the pictures if you like. If you want to hear me, if you hear me stop, look up and you can see the pictures. Chapter 8, No More. I have to tell you, that title makes me nervous. I hope that the eggs are okay. I'm going to read and see. I woke up early and shivered. I pulled a warm sassafras onto my chest and he purred. Then I remembered the caterflies and leaped out of bed. Sassafras jumped sideways and landed with his tail poofed up. Sorry, Sass, I ruffled his fur. The caterflies, we need to check on them. Meow, exclaimed Sassafras, and he ran for the kitchen. Mom was sitting at a table with a sad look on her face. She shook her head. I gulped. What's wrong, Mom? Mom slowly turned to the window. Wild gusts of wind were flinging giant flakes of snow this way and that. I could barely make out the forest through the blinding whiteness of the falling snow. My heart sank. We couldn't go out in the woods in this weather. It would be too dangerous because snow and wind can work together to make tree branches snap. Oh no. I'm sure they'll be fine, Zoe, Mom said. There's just a bit more of this spring snowstorm that needs to work its way through. The forecast says it'll be over by tomorrow, but today we need to sit tight and wait it out. I walked to the kitchen counter and peered out the window. The snow was really coming down. I could barely see the forest through all the snowflakes. I know what will cheer you up. Mom plopped all 4 shoes onto the counter in front of me. I put the finishing touches on these after you fell asleep. Are you ready to test them out on our brave kitty? I still felt sad about the caterflies, but I couldn't help smiling at the tiny sassafras snowshoes. I sat down on the ground and Sassafras came over and sniffed at them suspiciously. These will be great, Sass. Just you wait and see. I plunked him on my lap, slipped a shoe on each paw and attached with each one with Velcro so they wouldn't fall off. Time to see if they worked. Sassafras took a step and stopped. He wrinkled his nose. Then he took another step. He lifted a paw and sniffed at the shoe. Then he started prancing. He held his head high and fluffed up his tail and took fancy steps around the kitchen. Mom and I bent over laughing. Dad peeked his head in and took one look at Sassafras and laughed so hard a tear rolled down his cheek. After our laughter died down, Dad looked out the window and let out a big breath. His shoulders slumped. I guess it's time to start shoveling the walkway on the driveway. A huge grin spread across my face. I knew just how to make things easier for my dad. But Dad, just use some salt. Salt will melt the snow and ice. Then you don't have to work so hard at shoveling. Mom patted my head. That's a great idea, Zoe. And while salt would change the freezing point of water and melt the ice, it's best if Dad does it the good old-fashioned way. Salt can damage plants and it's not great for the environment. Maybe we can make some hot cocoa for him once he's done. Then she looked at my face. Oh, honey, what's wrong? I cleared my throat. I didn't want to ask, but I needed to know. The salt, you said it can damage plants? Uh-oh. I'm really glad I'm reading 2 chapters today because I'm getting really super nervous. I think Zoe's worried about the catnip plant where the caterflies live. Okay, let's keep reading. A demonstration, chapter 9. Mom cleared off the kitchen counter. Can you grab 2 bowls so that they're the same size and a measuring cup, Zoe? Mom said the best way to explain what salt does to plants is to do a science demo. That's short for demonstration. I set the bowls and measuring cups next to our salt shaker, and Mom brought several thin circles of slices from a potato. They looked like weirdly flat and juicy potato chips. Mom cleared her throat. Okay, so let's see what happens when we add salt to one potato slice and not another. Remember, when we do an experiment, we always change one thing and keep everything else the same, I interrupted and Mom laughed. Exactly, so we're changing salt. So we should do the same size potato slices in each bowl and add the same amount of water to both. Excellent, Mom said, smiling, and handed me a measuring cup. The bowls were pretty big, so I decided to add 2 cups of water each. Then I chose 2 thin potato slices that looked identical, and I put 1 in each bowl. Mom unscrewed the lid to the salt shaker and handed it to me. All of it? I asked. She nodded. I poured all the salt into just one of the bowls and stirred the water, salt, and potato slice together. Are you sure about this? I asked, holding onto the bowl. It's just a slice of potato, not a plant. A catnip plant and a potato slice seem pretty different to me, so maybe the catnip plants would be just fine. In this demo, the slice represents the whole plant. Even though the potato slice is just part of the potato plant, it'll show you what all the parts of the plants would do It'll show you what all the parts of the plant would do in this much salty water. Oh, well, maybe the potato slice wouldn't change much, I hoped. I really wanted the catnip plants to be fine. Once the caddisfly eggs hatch, they'd have to be hungry for those leaves. Mom set a timer for 30 minutes. Now we wait. That is a perfect place to end, because we will be waiting until tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow with more chapters from Zoe and Sassafras.